Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays, or quite honestly, happy whatever the heck doesn't offend you. Ha! Man, seems these days some people are upset no matter what you say or what you don't say, and I'm over here like, who cares? Let people celebrate or say whatever they want. You shouldn't worry about what other people think about what you say or what you celebrate. As long as nobody's going out of their way to offend or be douchebags, I think all is well. Let's just stop being a bunch of judgmental people. Those are my thoughts on that. But anyway, yeah, it's December 25th, Christmas. I don't have too much going on today, so I figured I'd do a YouTube video here, talk about some latest news, and let's just go ahead and get started. Yeah! This video is brought to you by Virtual Shield's VPN service. A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's basically an app that you install on your computer or mobile device that encrypts your information and protects it from hackers and greedy websites trying to track your data. Having a VPN can save you from instances like your credit card information being found or somebody hacking into your home security system. Cheap, helpful, extremely easy to use. Check out Virtual Shield's VPN on sale now. Links will be in the description below. All right, where should we begin? Got a couple PSAs before I get into talking about the stories I want to discuss. First of all, happy birthday to General Flynn. It was the general's birthday yesterday on December 24th, and I had to say it. God bless that man. Hope soon his name gets exonerated and he can go public, because I'm sure he's got a lot of interesting stuff, important stuff to say. And second thing is I want to highlight some crazy censorship going on Twitter. So as you probably know, recently the president retweeted the account of incarcerated ET, devoted Q researcher. POTUS retweeted him a few days ago, and then he got Q'd for it. Well, it wasn't within a day or two that Twitter suspended his account, suspended incarcerated ET. He created another account, which was his 16th Twitter account. Dude's going for the record books, getting suspended on Twitter. Started a new account. He called it Impeached ET, and then it wasn't 24 hours later, geez, probably sooner than that Twitter suspended that account too. And not just that, but Twitter also suspended the account of his girlfriend at the exact same time as that Impeached ET account. Crazy, crazy targeting. And this is nuts. I mean, we know exactly why. He got retweeted by POTUS and Q'd for it. So, I don't know if he's back on Twitter, but when he makes his lucky number 17th account, I'll let you guys know. I'm a big fan of the work he does. Good dude. So let's get into talking Q now. And I'm not going to read every single word of Q's drops. I'm sure you've read them by now, and I don't need to read them to you. You can do that. But just want to highlight a few important notes from the last few days Q drops. Q said, D's want illegal immigration. Why? Well, that's because they want votes. Ha! I mean, just look at, what was it, New Jersey a few days ago? They were giving out free driver's license to illegal immigrants. And then the line for that was like blocks long. That's exactly why the Democratic Party wants illegal immigration, because it's free votes for them. And then Q also mentioned GS, George Soros, as being a major controller of the Democratic Party, no doubt. And coincidentally enough, recently Rudy Giuliani returned from his trip to Ukraine, and the news was saying he discovered that the U.S. Embassy was funneling money to one of George Soros's NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And the news even said that he told everything he knew to Donald Trump. So, Attorney General Barr mentioning Soros's name at the end of last week. Now Rudy Giuliani lighting him up too. I hope he's the first arrest. That'd be good. And Rudy Giuliani, speaking of him as well, he also retweeted a Q account just the other day. The Twitter account's handle was called QAnon Women for Rudy. Ha! All for a LARP? Not even. We've got the president's personal lawyer retweeting Q accounts, and of course all the other beautiful Q proofs that we've been getting lately. Then, in another drop, Q also linked a video from Methods, which is like I don't know how many times that dude's been Q'd lately. He's getting Q'd like it's going out of style. But Methods has been tweeting a bunch of great video clips lately. And one of the video clips that he tweeted, the one that Q linked, was of Devin Nunes on Dan Bongino's podcast, and he mentioned that people on the internet have been helping with some of their investigations. He mentioned people on Twitter. Of course, he didn't mention 8chan or 8kun, but we know what he was talking about. We know. And how incredible is that, truly? I mean, all of us following Q and posting on 8kun, following along, we have been helping a lot more than a lot of us realized the last couple of years. Maybe someday we'll be told how much we helped. So that's that in regards to Q. Just a few brief things I wanted to highlight, the important notes. Now let's move on into a few stories. I want to highlight this article I found yesterday out of Colorado about drones being seen over Colorado, because there's some weird anomalies this one. Headline of this story said, at least 17 drones. They specified that in this article, said at least 17. Not at least 16 or 18, 17. So that struck me as odd. But 17 drones have been reported flying over northeast Colorado, over Yuma County, and then another adjacent county to it. They've been seen flying or heard flying for weeks at night. The news reports are also saying between 7 and 10 p.m., which was, if you want to stretch this one a bit, 7 plus 10 is 17, so there's another 17 there. But the first one, 17 drones, that stood out to me. And they've been doing so for a few weeks. People have been calling law enforcement agencies about it, and the LEOs have stated that they have no clue what's really going on with this. And also, in the article, it stated that these weren't small drones. These were 6-foot drones. A 6-foot drone, that's not your average droning Joe. So when I'm seeing, the 17s connected to it, somebody also on Twitter replied to my tweet of this yesterday and said, or mentioned a Q drop from about a year and a half ago where they mentioned drones over U.S. tracking only. Just throwing that out there. Figured that was interesting. But with all these little anomalies around this story, I'm thinking there's something that might be more to it. Maybe. I'm wondering if this might be some sort of operation where military intelligence could have drones up in the air, searching for stuff underground. We know in Colorado there's a lot of weird stuff underground there. Tunnels, facilities. I don't quite know if they extend east or northeast like that. We know in Colorado a lot of that's centralized around Denver and Colorado Springs, Cheyenne Mountain and whatnot. But just want to throw that out there. Interesting stuff. If you're in the Colorado area, be on the lookout for that. Next news story. Pentagon warning the military not to use genetic testing kits like 23andMe. So this all over the mainstream media yesterday, and sort of another Q proof with this one. Q talking about 23andMe months back. I don't even know exactly what time, but this was a while back. And what Q was highlighting to us, they were asking us, who is the CEO of 23andMe, one of the most famous genetic testing companies there are? What's her name? It's one of the Washkiki sisters. Can't remember if it's Ann or Susan, but a Washkiki sister is CEO of 23andMe. The other Washkiki sister is the CEO of YouTube. Whoa. And who's she married to? She's married to one of the co-founders of Google. Weird connections there, man. And of course the Pentagon's warning their service members not to use these genetic testing kits. Do you know what the information, what that data goes to with that company? No, you don't. I don't know. But we can guess they probably sell it at least, if not do some more nefarious crap with that. Like, I don't want my genetic data ending up in the hands of some big corporation with connections to crazy cabal corporations and CIA outfits and all kinds of stuff. No, no, no. So I really hope you haven't done one of those testing kits. And, if you have one, someone's trying to get you to do one. I personally wouldn't do it. And yeah, weird stuff there, weird stuff. But moving on from that, this is just a funny story out of, I think it was Colorado. This story said a man robbed a bank, threw money in the air outside, yelling Merry Christmas, and then walked over, I think, to a Starbucks sat down and waited to get arrested. Now, I'm not condoning illegal activity as such, but not all heroes wear capes. That's just funny. Okay, moving on to last couple topics, one being vaccines, and then the last one being UFOs, of course. So the one on vaccines, a couple of things on that. I'm seeing articles going around the last couple of days trying to really pump out some fear porn about measles. Measles, one of the most benign diseases you could get. But they're saying in the mainstream media that, oh, there's all these confirmed cases around the country in airports and all sorts of stuff like that. Measles, measles, measles. So I wouldn't doubt within the next few months there's going to be big new push of, mainstream media propaganda about the measles, and not just that, but Ebola, okay? So let's see here. I saw yesterday that different mainstream media outlets were running this story that an outbreak of Ebola was impeded, or basically the ability for the World Health Organization and these groups in Africa to combat Ebola has been impeded by some rebel groups, some armed rebel groups causing violence. That was their excuse about Ebola making a comeback in the Congo. Interesting thing about that, just 5 days ago, like a week ago, it was reported that the FDA approved Merck's Ebola vaccine. What a freaking coincidence. FDA approves the first ever Ebola vaccine made by Merck. 5 days later, the World Health Organization goes, oh, Ebola's making a comeback in Africa. So, you can just do your own dot connecting with that one. And now moving on to UFOs. So, that video going around of that alleged UFO over Las Vegas is still going viral, still making news, and I'm still seeing people, I think, not really think about it properly. So, an article in the Daily Star has been going around, and it claimed that the UFO in this video was seen flying 1,000 miles an hour for 50 miles, and it was going on and on about this thing being real. Again, I just mentioned this in a video a couple of days ago. I don't think this thing is a UFO at all. And if we look at the evidence we have about this thing, well, number one, you can just see the rhythmic flashing lights on that. So, number one piece of evidence showing us that it's probably benign, probably just a helicopter or something like that. Number two, if you look at the video, it clearly does not show this craft flying 1,000 miles an hour for 50 miles. 50 miles away from the area of Vegas that this video was filmed would take you clear out of Nevada. You'd be in like the Mojave Desert in California or something like that, or out in Utah, right? So, that you wouldn't be able to get a video of a craft that far away. Not just that, but it's clearly not moving 1,000 miles an hour. It's moving like a couple hundred, like a helicopter. And not just that, but somebody shared a photo, a screen grab of this video with me where you could clearly see the tail of it. So I know a lot of people out there, they want it to be some alien craft or a Pleiadian mothership or something like that. And you just gotta look at the evidence. You just gotta look at the raw evidence before you get all up in your head with what you want it to be or what you believe it to be. But, don't always trust what your beliefs are, because you might not be believing things based on raw evidence. So anyway, I don't think that's a UFO. As much as I want it to be, I don't think it is. And truly, if a UFO is hovering for 5 minutes over a large urban sprawl like that, we only get one video out of it. Where's the other photos? Where's the other videos? No. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And then last thing is, this is the 1-year anniversary, speaking of UFOs, the 1-year anniversary of the Washington Times releasing an article entitled UFO Conspiracy Theorists See Trump's Space Force as Strong Evidence of UFO Visitors. And I'm going to link this article down below, and the reason I'm sharing it is because I don't think I've ever seen gold like this in the mainstream media. And yeah, they're saying UFO conspiracy theorists and blah, 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 but, as Q said recently, sometimes a biased point of view shields that individual, but it gets a lot of eyes on those topics, right? And I think that's what this article was about. Because look at that headline, UFO conspiracy theorists see Trump Space Force as strong evidence of UFO visitors. That's huge. And also, in what's in the article, I was featured in the article talking about the Space Force being a way to disclose free energy and anti-gravity, and the deep state's not happy about it because their black projects might get disclosed. Those words, those ideas were in this article. Free energy, anti-gravity. I don't think I've ever seen those words in the Washington Times or a mainstream media publication like that. And they also featured Dr. Michael Sala, some of his opinions. It's a really, really good article. And, being the Space Force in the news and everything, it's a really good article to share. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Tried to give you the details as best I could. I'm working off the notepad right now. Don't have my computer in front of me. But there you go. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy anything. Hope you have a fantastic day. Try to red pill your families as much as you can at that holiday dinner. And I'll be seeing you guys soon. Done.